A good day or night to you all, and today we'll be looking at and road testing the X-Lite X-803 RS Ultra Carbon. So, the X-803 RS Ultra Carbon, not only is it a mouthful to say, but it's X-Lite's new full-face racing helmet meant to replace the previous X-Lite, the X-803. I don't know how ultra the carbon in this helmet is, but the shell is made of carbon fiber, which should greatly improve impact resistance and just give you a lighter helmet overall. When we weighed it, the helmet came in at about 1,390 grams in a size M, so with a recommended retail price of about 600 euros or around $660 US, the X-Lite will be competing with the HJC RPHA11, the Arai RX-7V, and the Shoei X-Spirit 3. So, let's take a look. Just a quick note before we get started, if you wanted to check out more reviews or guides, be sure to head to our YouTube channel and hit subscribe. Again, the shell is made of carbon, so it'll be lightweight. This helmet should be aerodynamic on the track since it was designed in a wind tunnel. It's got a large spoiler in the rear, which will also help with reducing wind noise and boosting stability. You can also see that the chin has been elongated to give you more space and comfort. This helmet also comes in 3 shell sizes and is ECE rated. 3 shell sizes in this case is fairly average, since more shell sizes are better since it means you get a better fitting helmet. For ventilation, you're getting similar options to the previous X-Lite helmets. So you've got an adjustable vent here in the chin that you can operate with the slider, and the brow here, which is the same type of mechanism. You're also getting 2 more adjustable vents further back on the top of the head, which you can also open or close, and if you look at the back, then you can see the air will come out these exhausts here in the rear. For noise isolation, this is a race helmet, so it's usually a bit lower on the list of priorities, but the aerodynamics of the helmet should help somewhat in reducing the level of noise. The liner will also help out a little bit here, since it'll give you an extra layer. The visor for the X-803 is actually giving you some great options here. It's wide and it'll give you a good field of view, and the helmet comes with a dark smoke visor in the box, even though it's called a green visor on the label. The visor is also pin lock prepared, and the insert is in the box, so you can already get kitted out fully for sunny weather, and you can prevent any potential fogginess when it's a little bit cooler. However, and this is a little unfortunate, the dark smoke visor is not ECE rated because it doesn't transmit enough light, so it's really suited for very bright weather. Nonetheless, you've also got a nose guard here along the front to help prevent fogging up the visor with your breath. To remove the visor, you first need to open it into the fully upright position. Then all you need to do is click the silver X button to release the visor from the groove. You then do the same on the other side, and the visor will come free. To put the visor back on again, all you need to do is line the visor up with the grooves, push the button down to open the mechanism, and reinsert the visor. Once one side is done, you do the same on the other with the same process of pushing down the button and lining up the grooves again. The liner on this helmet also looks and feels very nice. It's made of X-Lite's carbon fitting racing experience comfort inner padding. Clearly, X-Lite like to go for the more descriptive in terms of naming conventions, but this liner is very comfortable. It's soft and it has carbon filaments which are meant to help with temperature control and are preventing static. I'm not sure how much of this really makes a difference, but avoiding helmet hair here doesn't sound so bad. In addition to this, the liner is removable and washable, and it is not designed to fit glasses, unfortunately. The liner is also meant to be adjustable to give a better fit across a wider range of head shapes, and the fitment on this helmet will be intermediate oval like the last X-803. Now let's take a look inside. To remove the liner, first you need to remove the cheek pads. They're held in with 3 buttons and an insert. You can see that they're quite soft and of good thickness. You can see the emergency pull tabs there and the carbon stitching. Then you need to take out the second pad with the same process. You can see the double D ring chin strap there. Then, taking out the liner, you've got buttons in the back and an insert in the front. And you can see it looks and feels just as comfy as the cheek pads, and you're going to get tons of mesh to help with ventilation. Here, you can see the belt running along the top of the liner, which you can use to adjust it. You can adjust the liner belt by opening the switch on the bottom of the belt, and then simply pulling the belt tighter or looser as required before snapping it back through the hole again. Now, we can see the EPS grooves, and we've got plenty, so you should get some decent air in through there. And that's all for the liner. Enough said about this helmet, and now let's see how it actually performs out on the road. First, just a quick reminder for how we've set up our road tests. On the left here is the helmet's interior temperature measured in degrees Celsius through a thermometer placed in the top of the helmet. In the middle, we have a decibel meter taking measurements from a microphone placed near our rider's ear. On the right is a telephone, which will show us the approximate airspeed, and lastly, in the middle, we've got our rider's speed in kilometers per hour and the outside temperature. During the road test, the outside temperature was about 15 degrees Celsius, while the helmet's interior temperature was about 18 degrees Celsius, so that's a difference of 3 degrees, which is pretty good for a racing helmet not in its optimal position, which is a racing tuck. The average wind speed was about 110 to 120 kilometers per hour, while our rider was driving at 130 kilometers per hour on long stretches of highway. For noise, we recorded about 106 decibels, which is fairly loud, but this is a racing helmet, so that's not as big of an issue. We did test this helmet on a highway again, not a racetrack, which is what this helmet is really designed for. So if you do take it out on the track, then you'll really get a feel for how the aerodynamics and the ventilation on this helmet work. Our rider was pleasantly surprised with this helmet. We did have high expectations, but the X-Lite blew past them in almost all but one category. Due to the weather conditions, we had trouble with fully testing out the helmet's aerodynamics due to a crosswind, but our rider still said they were good. However, he was also very happy with the comfort and said it was also excellent. He also said the addition of the breath deflector was good and that the helmet had a nice high-quality finish to it. Now, let's get to those stars. Since the X-803 RS has a carbon shell or even an ultra carbon shell and comes in 3 shell sizes, this gives this helmet an outstanding 5 stars for material. For weight, this helmet also does very well since even with all the extras, this helmet was light, giving it 5 stars for weight. For the visor, this helmet also did well again since it's pin-lock prepared and in the box, and it gives a good field of view, so that's another 4 stars. For ventilation, though our rider found the brow vents very refreshing, this helmet did not do as well as hoped, being a full 3 degrees hotter, which gives the X-Lite only 2 stars. For aerodynamics, the helmet seemed fairly stable, giving it 3 stars. Lastly, our rider found the helmet very comfortable, giving it another 4 stars. This just about brings us to an average of about 4 stars, which is very good and gives us 29 euros per star, which is also a decent result for a premium racing helmet. If you'd like to purchase the X-Lite X-803 RS Ultra Carbon, then make sure to head over to championhelmets.com, where we have a lowest price guarantee and great bundle deals including a discounted visor. So overall, not that many complaints for the X-803 RS. Other than the really long names, the non-ECE rated visor, and the slightly disappointing ventilation, this helmet does pretty well as a racing helmet, especially coming in at 4 stars and 29 euros per star. So this puts this helmet at about the same average star rating as the Arai RX-7V, though the Arai did perform better in the categories the X-Lite was worse in, and this 29 does place it a bit higher than the X-Spirit 3, which also performed a bit better than the X-Lite. Nonetheless, the X-Lite is cheaper up front. So for premium helmets, the X-Lite is giving you a pretty good deal still. If you liked the video, make sure to subscribe, and if you have any comments or questions, to leave them in the comments below. I'm Sebastian from Champion Helmets, and thanks for watching.